welcome. Today we are going to study about solar system components, charge controller, and inverter. The learning objective, the learner at the end of this should be able to list and describe the different types of charge controllers, logarithm, and identify the one recommended for a standalone PV. Also, you should be able to differentiate types of standalone inverters and describe the key function of an inverter. So we are going to start with the battery. Battery is one important component within the system. So battery will start with the self-regulation. That means that we are not using the charge controller. So self-regulation does not work in climate where the PV module experiences high temperature in summer. For example, 35 degrees is very high. So the best temperature for the battery to operate is 25 degrees Celsius. Also, at very low temperatures in winter, below freezing point, the battery cannot work well. So self-regulation is commonly discouraged, though it cuts the cost in picosolar systems. So voltage disconnection and reconnection. So in voltage disconnection, you find that when the temperatures goes high, the high voltage disconnects. It disconnects from the PV through the charge controller. So the charge controller is going to disconnect when the voltage goes very high. When the voltage drops a bit, it will reconnect. So we call it the high voltage reconnect to PV. So this is the allowed uses capacity from this top to down just above the red point. The average daily depth of discharge should be around 20%. That is the average discharge depth that is allowed in a day. Then we have the low voltage reconnect. The maximum allowed depth discharge is 80%. So you are not supposed to discharge your battery below 80%. You will spoil it. So the low voltage reconnect will always reconnect when it goes above 80%. And if it goes below 80%, the low voltage disconnect, it will disconnect from the load so that it's able to discharge. So at this point, we don't allow the battery to be discharged at this point. This one is the red point.